All right, hello. This is a project that is already finished, and I want to present it and say one or two things about it because it's looking cool. Look how cool it is looking. And yeah, I really I am proud of it. I really like it. So all right. So what is this? A lot of it is made by me, by hand. The case, the interface here. I call it as an interface. The thing that the user interface. And these are plugs, as you can also see. I've connected already the wire plug with a motor to hear it and see it. So to show you that everything is actually working, and listen to the sound. I'm barely touching, and I'm not inserting it too deep because it's very hard to take it out or to put it in. So I will not. If you read this, is exactly what is saying for everything there. 2-3 volts outputs, 2 of 5 volts, 2 of 7 volts outputs, 2 of 9 volts, and 12 volts outputs. So I just showed you here. I tested it with a motor to actually show you how it's looking. I will take it out from the. It has a condenser, a capacitor inside, and this indicator light is very good because it's actually showing me when it's safe to put your hands in it. That capacitor is holding charge, and for a while, for a little bit, but it will get discharged in the end until its end. And voila, this is how it's opening, and this is how it's looking. I have here a very helpful voltage diagram that I made actually by measuring everything, and it helped me the second time. You will get it in a second. This is the original one that I made, but then I remade it here more clearly. And this is the output, which is I'm not sure how well you can see, but is a black box from which a black plug from which all these wires are coming out from, and that black box is plugging into. Let me point with my trusty knife here. Is plugging into this board. So this is what I'm touching here. I'm touching the plug, the black plug. Everything is a mess. Is looking like a mess here. But it is how it is. What are these? This is a power source from a Macintosh computer, which is a very strange computer because it's is also having everything is built inside the monitor. Inside that monitor is having the hard drive, the video card, the sound card. Everything is one single monitor, and it's a little bit thicker because it has all of this stuff, including the power source, if I remember right. So including the power source is inside that monitor. This is how they are. This is a model uh, of a computer. And for those who doesn't know about it, I don't know about it that much. So this is the power source from that Macintosh computer. A friend of mine bought it in the hope it will repair it, and he damaged it more than it was damaged already. He finished it. It didn't open at all. That's the problem he had, and he wanted to throw it away, but he called me and told me, "Do you want this computer, this Macintosh?" And I said no, actually, in the beginning. No, I don't want another thing, big thing, cluttering here in my room. And then I thought, well, it's a computer, and I called him back and changed my mind, and I took it. And I'm glad I did it because originally I thought I will take out all the components from inside it without checking if something is working. But after a while, after I took it, I did check everything in the hope I can repair it for my friend, but I couldn't. It was I don't even remember what was the problem, and it didn't open. It didn't do anything. Something was terribly wrong on the motherboard, probably. But the power source of it was fine. And this power source, I said to myself, instead of taking out every component from it, scrap it for components, I will build myself a power source, because it's I eyeball it, and I said, well, it's flat enough. It's very interesting looking, comparative with PC. PC case. I have some there. If you see them, those like big box, very powerful actually, very good. Though I believe those are better than this one in the power. They are more powerful, the PC ones, than this one. But this one for bench experiments, small power experiments, I suppose, it's absolutely fine. So that's the history how I get this and how I decided to reuse it. And originally I have here the original interface I built, and it was, I will provide also some pictures when it was built with this interface. Yes, so as I promised, a couple of images. This is immediately before I started to replace this user interface, this plug-in interface. It was a very strong. That's why I like it very much. Actually, I really like it because it was extremely strong. Nothing was bending, but it had the obvious problem of shortening, and that I didn't like it at all. And that's why I didn't use it that much. Even if it was finished as a building. Uh, no, I didn't. I kept away. I was worrying every time I was using it. Like I said before, this was a temporary interface, which kept being temporary a few years, like 8 years probably. I don't even remember. It was so long ago, and I built this case and this interface very extremely slowly. I wasn't dedicated that much to it, but I forced myself to make it. The paper that you see in front of it is I calculate where all these female plugs will fit, and it is not that good of a picture, but you can see on the right side the female plugs I'm ordered, and here is a close-up, and also you can see the piece of paper in front of it with everything sectioned in sections as I originally planned. And if you number them, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, da. So it's having 12, and the squares, 12 plugs, and on the squares, on the paper with the squares, on the same 12, but now it's having 11 in the last version without the 4 volts. And here is the the aluminum plate and the female plugs there. And before I mounted anything, and here is again this guy. Okay, right here I'm showing the wiring inside it. It was a mess before, and it's a mess right now, but I think it's a cleaner mess right now than it was before. Right before it was a messier mess of wires. This is when in the moment I took it out the board. Those are burning marks everywhere. It's not the wood burning marks, it's actually the suckers, is the resin that I use. I use a resin, and that is the resin burned marks that they stick. The resin stick on the wood, and yeah, the resin is helping me soldering the copper wires you see here. And here is another view of it, and check this out. What a bush, what a bush of wires, fucking hell. I was a bit to be sincere, I was a bit afraid of this bush when I've seen it without the interface. I was so used to it, and I was afraid to say it. But checking it, here is another clear view of the bush of wires. You can see the red and white wire that is coming from the back. It was the 4 volts, the first value of that I didn't leave it in the end. Here is a close up on the. I can zoom in actually, and you see this is fully the first one. The first plug is fully screwed in, but the second plug, so it's flush. It's actually, this is very good here. It's catched. It's screwed in very tightly. This is good. This is very good. But this is the second screw is not that good, and I don't really like it. But it was a solution at that moment, and I took it. I took the solution. I didn't knew what to do best, and it was a little bit of threads, you know, on those little bit of threads this screwed in, and it's kind of flimsy. It's not really pressing. It's not pressing that well. It is pressing, but it's not like the first one, like this, that are flush, that are pressing here. So yeah, not that proud of the intermediary ones, but it's holding. So that's all that matters. Um, and also the design of it, as you can see, everything is extremely close together, very close together. And this design, actually, the interface, I was looking actually to it when I was designing it, and I did a little bit of mistake then, but yes. So this is a very good close up, a very good resolution close up. This is looking awesome. I really love it. How it come out. It's cool. It's very cool. And like I said, or I will say in the movie, I will leave. I will probably change this hooks, and I will probably put some alligators. But nah, this is not screwed in completely. It was, yeah, it was. This is finished actually, but the case is open. This is it. Thank you. And here is the same hole for the LED. It's the same LED that you see here, the white LED. And it was through this hole, very uh, stable. It was because it's very thick. It's very stable, and it's the same voltage. Make abstraction of the first one. So 2 of 3 volts, 2 of 5 volts, 2 of 7, 2 of 9, and 3 of 12. This 4 volts, I actually took it from somewhere from there and dragged 2 wires in the front. And when I built this new interface that you see here, I had to decide to omit, to not put, and I was my heart break because I wanted to have as many as possible, but the size and these dimensions and also the holes for the screws here, those two were extremely problematic. I couldn't screw in if I was adding another, and all this construction is very tight, as you can see. And check this out, check the how it's behind it. I'm not very happy, but instead I got this very tight, extremely tight arrangement, very close everything together, and it's looking cool. Actually, I really like it. And let me continue with all the interface that I have here. This is copper wire, a single copper wire that I bent it, but that I introduced it. I put 2 holes, and through one hole I inserted that wire, copper wire, and then I bent it from one side and then on the other side. And those 2 bendings I push them together inside through the second hole, and I made these ears, as you can see here. It was terrible work actually. I didn't enjoy it very much, but and this should have been a temporary interface for this power source, but in reality it stayed with it like 2 or 3 years, and I didn't use it too much. I use it 1 or 2 times, extremely rarely. Why? I didn't need it that much, to be sincere, and And also I was afraid of shorts, if short circuits. So the bottom line is the minus, and the upper line is the positive or plus side. So it's plus and minus, plus and minus, plus and minus. It's very simple to connect and easy to remember. And if I was shorting this two by mistake, or any of it, um, was a danger, was a problem. I don't like short circuits happening while I'm doing my stuff usually. So it's better to avoid it. And I thought long and hard actually, and in a couple of months, well, not every day of course, but I was remembering the problem, and in a couple of months and one day I decided, well, I should probably invest some money in a couple of plugs like this, the female plugs. And I have here the actual order that I got, 20 of each, 20 female and 20 male plugs. And originally I thought I will make 20 plugs for each of it, but I believe a single one is suffice, and I've put this hooks, probes, but I will probably change them in the future. I'm not sure if it will be final with these hooks, or if I will change it with alligator clips. And it was a mess. It was a mess. It was very hard actually to rewire again all these combinations that you see here, and because there are a lot of combination to get all these voltages. Initially you don't get all these voltages, you get probably half of it, to be sincere. So I'm not sure, I didn't test it yet, if I will put two in parallel in the same time, if they are connected one to each other, how it will behave. But by themselves they are working, as I showed you already with the motor. They are working fine. But if I will hook up multiple, I didn't test this yet. If everything will go in flames, well, and yeah, that's one side of the situation. And this I actually like this model here, that and is very ugly. It's very old looking, weird, but it's very strong because the wood, this piece of wood that I used, is extremely rugged. Is very, is solid. Is very solid. But this is flexible. This is an aluminum sheet. Is already painted. Was already painted. I cut it from an aluminum board, bigger. It was bigger, and I reshape it and remodel it. Actually had a hole in it, exactly the hole for this plug to get into already, and I had to redesign every hole for it in respect to that hole. Original hole that it had, and it was a bit of a designing problem, but and cutting, and I cut and I measured everything from that hole already that it had, and it turned out it's better than I expected, actually, to be sincere. But what I don't like about it is it's flexible exactly here in the middle, because these are 2 points of strength, but in the middle is not that strong, and is a bit wobbly. Not much if I'm pressing too hard to make the connection, and they are very hard to 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 couple each other and to decouple it. And I don't like it because it's that strong connection or coupling. But it's okay, it's fine. I mean, it will stay probably more on one, and if I will actually need another one, but that will be very very rarely probably. And if I it will be the case to switch to have multiple outputs. Well, I will make another probe like here on the case. Let me present a little bit. So this is the wire, how it's coming inside here. I turn. This is epoxy pole actually, and is plugging in with two nails actually. Yeah, I had to make this to fit here, and this is a wood pylon in which this screw is screwing and holding everything. And here is one, not two. I was very cheap. I could have put two, and that's why it's a bit trembling like this. But it's very very stable actually. And yeah. And here is the on-off switch, which is working, of course. And let me screw it a little bit. And this is how it's looking underneath it. I had to, yeah, it was a pain to put all these holes and to enlarge them and to borrow the screws. As you can see, they are flush, they are flat, and it was a pain, but it worth it. So this is my this is the back. Nothing to see really on the back. This is the hole for the wire to came out. It's a bit strange, it's a bit weird, but it's doing the job excellently actually, and I'm quite pleased, and I'm quite proud of it, and I hope you like it. And yeah, leave a like. Let's see it powered again. Yeah, and I had to I forget to mention that I had to remeasure everything inside and rewire again, and that little paper helped me a lot to understand how I made the first time the wiring, that it was on this board. And yeah, pretty much this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it, and leave a like as well on YouTube here, and see you later. All right, thank you very much for watching.